Spring is just around the corner. While the air outside is still cold and the ground is frozen, according to the ancient Japanese calendar, spring has already arrived. This is the season of Rishun, the beginning of spring. As I sit here drawing this flower, I am reminded that while many wait for the warmth of the sun, the plum blossom, the ume, has already decided to bloom. It is the first sign of life in the cold. Today I want to share a legend, a story passed down through centuries, about a man who became inseparable from these blossoms, the great scholar Sugawara no Michizane. Sugawara no Michizane was a brilliant scholar and court official of the 9th century. He was known for his mastery of poetry and the classical Chinese learning. But in the year 901, he was caught in a political conspiracy. Stripped of his titles, he was exiled from the capital of Kyoto to a distant post in Dazaifu, in what is now Fukuoka. He was forced to leave behind his home, his position, and the garden he had lovingly tended for years. Among the trees in that garden stood his favorite plum tree. Before he departed, he stood before that tree and composed a farewell poem. Kochi fukaba, Nioi okoseyo, ume no hana. Aruji nashi tote, Haru wasure so. When the east wind blows, let your fragrance reach me, O plum blossoms. Do not forget the spring, even though your master is gone. The east wind, Kochi, is the wind that carries the scent of early spring. In this poem, he was not only speaking to the tree, he was speaking to himself, asking the heart to remain faithful to spring, even in exile. And this is where history begins to blend with the legend. According to the tradition preserved at Dazaifu Tenmangu Shrine, the story does not end with exile. The plum tree could not bear to be separated from its master. One night, it is said, the tree uprooted itself and flew across the sky from Kyoto to Dazaifu. When Michizane awoke, the plum tree stood beside him once more. Even today, visitors to Dazaifu Tenmangu are shown a tree called the tobiue, the flying plum, said to be that very tree. But the legend grows even deeper. After Michizane died in exile, disasters began to strike Kyoto. Lightning struck the imperial palace. Fires broke out. Praise spread, and several of the nobles who had conspired against him died suddenly. Most famously, a powerful court official was killed by a bolt of lightning during a storm. The people began to whisper that Michizane's spirit, filled with resentment over injustice, had returned as a thunder god. The court frightened by these calamities, restored his titles and built shrines to appease his spirit. He was enshrined as Tenjin, a heavenly deity associated with thunder and the sky. Yet over time, fear transformed into reverence. Because Michizane had been one of the greatest scholars of his age, he became to be worshipped not as a vengeful spirit, but as Tenjin, the god of learning. Today, students across Japan visit Tenmangu shrines to pray for success in their studies. And in early spring, before the cherry blossoms bloom, the plum trees flower first, quietly, bravely in the cold. They're not merry decorations. They're symbols of loyalty, of endurance, of scholarship, and of a spirit that refused to be forgotten. Thank you for listening. See you next time.